This is Dante, and welcome to It's Wrestling Time Post Show. It is Sunday, March 3rd, 2024, or Monday, wherever you are in the world. And welcome to the AEW Revolution review. All right, so tonight was Sting's final match, his final match ever. He was retiring. And I'm glad this match made it. I don't know about you. I feel like there was some type of confusion because during the 0 hour, they said that the three-way match for the AEW World title was going to main event. And then Sting ended up main eventing, which I'm glad he did. He deserved it.
Yeah, I thought he deserved it as well. You know, I thought this was a good way for Sting to go out and retire. But I thought that the match was pretty good.
I really like the fact that they bought out Ricky the Dragon Steamboat as a timekeeper.
I thought that was a nice touch there.
I like the fact that Sting's sons came out as Wolfpack Sting and Surfer Sting.
I like that too. I like that, his sons got involved here as well to, send him out, for his retirement match.
Right? I really love how, at the beginning of the match, even before the match started, there was Sting in the movie theater, and I said it's showtime, and then it played his career, except if you notice, no dirty footage.
Yeah, of course they can't.
Of course,
use that.
No surprise there, no surprise.
Well, we all want to forget Sting's, time in WWE. That was a colossal failure.
I was there for his only WrestleMania match, WrestleMania 31.
That was the only one match that Sting had in WWE.
Should have been against Undertaker, but that's just my opinion.
The dream match that will never, ever happen.
Exactly. So, anywho, I really like the fact that they have this montage of his career, and it's just a celebration of Sting. And at the end, he gets up and says, "It's showtime." One last time, and it's just oh my god, it's really incredible. This was a really great match. Some moments that I liked when Matthew put Sting through the table off the ladder, or when Darby Allin did that moonsault to Nicholas, but he moved and he went, and Darby Allin ended up crashing through the glass table, and he was all bleeding afterwards. I was like, oh my god.
That was one of the best spots there, because when I saw him dive off that ladder, I was like, what? through that glass.
I was like, by God, he got broken in half. I popped when we got Stiffer and Wolfpack. Me too.
As God's my witness, he is broken in half.
I was really surprised we didn't get a Joker Sting out there.
That would have been cool to see.
Mm-hmm.
I wish they would have done that.
Darby is nuts. He making it. He making 40 age wrestling. Yeah, I don't think he is. I hope, I was really worried for Darby. I was like, oh, they just killed someone on pay-per-view television here.
And Darby, after that, he wasn't really in the match. It was basically them giving Sting the floor. This is his retirement match, and I thought that was, pretty good to just have Sting go in there, battle against Matthew and Nicholas, the Young Bucks, and not get any help, from Darby Allin.
I'm really glad you called them by their God-given name, Matthew and Nicholas Jackson. You didn't want to get a fine.
This is the best. This is the best interpretation of the Young Bucks. The EVPs of AEW.
I agree. All right. What about when Matthew suplexed Sting off that ramp? I was like, oh my god! I can't believe Sting did all these crazy spots in this match.
I really like that spot there. Sting taking these bumps at his age. I'm like, wow, he could still go. I mean, he's only 64 years old, and he could still go.
Yeah. I really like the fact that they attacked not that I like that they attacked Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, but I like the fact that Ricky the Dragon Steamboat got involved. Ric Flair got involved. He was willing to take a hit for Sting, which he
And
did. He got super kicked.
I like that he was trying to protect Sting. They have
Yeah.
history, going back. And I thought, when they laid out Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, like when he was on the ring apron and he looked over, I'm like, how could you not see that coming? How could Steamboat not see that coming?
I wish they would have brought in Gary Capello and to introduce Sting to the ring well last time with this Sting intro, since he came up with that introduction for him. Oh wow, yeah, that would have made it too.
Well, we got Tony Schiavone. Tony Schiavone's "It's Sting" is iconic.
Matthew Jackson doing the Scorpion Death Drop, Sting's own move on him. I was like, oh my god,
that was amazing. A lot of good spots here in the match.
Yeah, this was a fantastic match. Not to compare, but I like Sting's final match a lot better. I don't know if you've ever seen it or seen clips of it, of Ric Flair's final match, him and Andrade versus Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett. I wasn't a huge fan of that match. That pay-per-view, though, was called Ric Flair's last match. That pay-per-view was stacked. But the match itself was not that great, and I like this a lot better.
Yeah, I did not watch that whole match. I've seen clips of it here and there, but just seeing Ric Flair, in there. I mean, he's got to hang up the boots already. He has that anticipation that he wants to get back in the ring and have a match, but we're all just worried
after
about
that debacle. He doesn't need to have another match. If you've seen the whole match like I did and reviewed it like I did, yeah, no, he's good. He's fine.
Flair, stay out of the ring. Retire.
Sting took 2 EVP triggers, and he still didn't go down.
He was like a madman there. He was like the Terminator. Like whenever they delivered the EVP trigger, the Bucks, just Sting rised up like he was like the Terminator or the Undertaker.
At the end, though, Matthew Jackson got hit with the coffin drop by Darby Allin, and then he got hit with the Scorpion Deathlock by Sting, and Darby Allin and Sting won by submission, meaning that Sting not only retired as AEW Tag Team Champion, he retired undefeated, and there was no other way that Sting could have gone out on top. Like this was a fantastic way to end his career. And then at the end, Darby Allin, even though he's all busted from the back and he's bleeding, and he is like,
I wonder how many stitches he's gonna have after that.
I know. He asked the crowd to show Sting some love. Sting thanks Ric Flair, and then Sting calls Allin the best tag team partner he's ever had, and then AEW Revolution goes off the air. This was a great way to end the show. What did you think of this?
I thought it was a good way for Sting to go out. I mean, him cutting that promo was just absolutely great. Good choice of words that he had to say. I liked how the way that, he said Darby was one of his best, tag team opponents or in his career, and I just really like that. I don't know if you caught this, but Sting was still on the mic, and then the feed ended up cutting off.
Yeah, I did catch that.
Tony Khan, you made a huge mistake on cutting that feed, because we all want to hear what Sting else had to say.
Same, but this is a great way.
But there was a picture that was posted on social media of, the whole locker room coming out there and just, showing and paying their respects to Sting, which, was absolutely great.
I agree. So I have to say, like, I kind of thought maybe you might agree with me, maybe you might disagree with me. Very classy way to send Sting out overall by AEW. I agree. Very classy. I kind of thought, and there was a part of me that thought that maybe the Young Bucks are going to win the tag titles here. But let me explain.
They kind of teased that a little bit.
Yeah. Greatest night in wrestling. Hashtag thank you, Sting. Yes, thank you, Sting. The reason why I thought the Bucks are going to go over was because it would have made sense with the characters that they have. It would have made sense for them to, they were talking, because you remember the whole build leading up to this, they were talking about how like Sting was old and he no longer belonged in AEW because the whole model of AEW was to change the world. So I kind of felt like, okay, with these characters, they're in North Carolina. If you want the Bucks to get ultimate heel heat, you have them defeat Sting and take those titles off of him. I mean, could you imagine if that would have happened? They would have booed the Bucks out of that building if they would have won.
Well, the crowd would chant "fuck the Bucks," which was hilarious.
I also say I would have been pissed if this didn't main event. Yeah, I would have been pissed too because I don't think that the match that went on second to last, while it was a great match, I don't think it could have topped this moment. But yeah, I felt like I'm glad Sting won. I really wanted him to win.
Yeah, me too. I thought, it was great.
Yeah, definitely. Alrighty, so let's kick things off with 0 Hour. 0 Hour, despite being, an hour, 30 minutes, only had 2 matches.
Mm-hmm. And just talking, of course.
Honestly, that's kind of the reason, and this isn't just a criticism of AEW, but this is one of the reasons why I don't watch pre-shows, why I don't like watching pre-shows, because I feel like it's just a lot of talking. It's the same reason why I don't watch a WWE kickoff shows either, because it's a lot of talking. This is why, the only countdown or pre-show I watch would be TNA Impacts, because they give you 30 minutes, but it's mostly all wrestling, which I like. It's not a lot of talking like it is yours.
Yeah, I watch WWE's pre-shows. I mainly just watch it because,
I don't. If there's no match, I'm not watching. IO says the tag titles will be vacated in the Elite tournament coming, according to Tony Khan. Of course,
I was gonna say that.
Of course, that's not a surprise. Tony Khan loves his tournaments.
He loves his tournaments. Yeah.
Exactly. So speaking of the titles, we had a 12-man tag match. It was Private Party, Willie Mack. No, it was Private Party, Willie Mack, Jay Lethal, Jeff Jarrett, and Satnam Singh versus the Bang Bang Scissor Gang. This wasn't a bad match. It really wasn't. What did you think of this?
I did not watch it, and I didn't even care. I didn't even care to watch it. If you have Jeff Jarrett and his goons in there, I don't care. You'll have Satnam Singh in there, just go, just like the Great Khali. I'm like, do I need to waste my time watching that? I mean, I like that. I like that Willie Mack was in there. I haven't seen Willie Mack, in since he was in Lucha Underground. He was one of my favorites.
He was in TNA before he came to AEW.
I always just associate him in Lucha Underground.
Okay. One of my favorite spots in this match was when all of Team Jeff Jarrett, you want to call him that, did the Fargo strut. I thought that was a pretty cool spot.
Yeah, I'll let you take the floor on the whole match here because I didn't watch it.
So the Bang Bang Scissor Gang were victorious here, and Jay White hit the Blade Runner to Willie Mack. At the end, Jay White says that Greensboro is one of his favorite cities in the world. Now, he says that they are the greatest faction and the greatest wrestling company, AEW. And he says that on March 13th, he will handle some big business of his own. So I don't know what he meant by that.
Mm-hmm.
So it was interesting.
I hope they don't put Mercedes with the Bang Bang Scissor Gang. I really hope not. Is that a good way to debut her? If that happens, I don't want to see that.
All right, we get an Orange Cassidy segment, and basically, he was telling best friends not to go out there because he was tired of his friends getting hurt. He wanted to do this on his own.
I don't blame him.
So the last match on the kickoff show, or the 0 Hour, was Kris Statlander, Willow Nightingale versus Skye Blue and Julia Hart. I feel like Skye Blue and Julia Hart have become quite the tag team, just like Kris Statlander and Willow Nightingale. I feel like if AEW had a women's tag team division, they would be in the four winners of that division. However, I feel like while the women's while the women's booking in AEW is slowly getting better, I don't know if it's to that point where if they add tag titles, it would be much better. You get me? Because like I
I
don't think
wouldn't
we've
want to see
reached
that.
that point. I don't think we've reached that point yet.
I don't want to see women's tag team titles yet. I really don't. But I gotta say, Sky Blue and Julia Hart, I think they make a good team together.
They do, and I'm still surprised they call Sky Blue, and they haven't changed their name to like Dark Blue or something.
I mean, Sky Blue came a long way because every time she was on my TV, I'm like, oh man, why do they keep pushing her? She just keeps losing matches. But then, as you know, she aligned with Julia Hart, she actually has become a whole lot better.
Yeah, she's gotten a lot better.
And Julia Hart, my opinion, has the best AEW entrance, of the woman next to Tony Storm.
Yeah, I like her entrance. All right, so the first match to kick off the main card was the TNT title match. It was Daniel Garcia versus Christian Cage. I think this was a pretty decent match. It was no surprise Christian Cage won though.
Yeah, no surprise there. Everybody probably knew it was coming.
Yeah, I feel like I said last time, his rivalry with Adam Copeland's not over.
They tried to play the fact that Daniel Garcia was going to defeat Christian Cage because when Daniel Garcia would go for the pin, the ref, who was I think it was Aubrey Edwards, who was referee in the match, when she counted, it almost made it clear that that we all thought that Daniel Garcia was going to win, but that wasn't the case.
Yeah. But still good match. I think Daniel Garcia will be champion in the future.
Without a doubt. I could see him being a world champion.
The next match on here was the AEW Continental Crown Championship match. It was Eddie Kingston versus Bryan Danielson. Holy shit. This match was an amazing match.
I thought it was awesome too. I thought it was really great as well. Eddie Kingston, Bryan, they had really good chemistry here in the match. Although I got to address something here. So we had this past Wednesday on Dynamite, we had Eddie Kingston teaming up with FTR, and they were taking on Moxley. I think it was Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli, and Bryan Danielson. And I'm like, why are we seeing these guys, in the match on Wednesday night when we're going to see them again competing on Sunday, but in their, separate matches, Eddie Kingston taking on Bryan and, Moxley, Claudio taking on FTR. So TK ended up doing a Vince McMahon move there where even though the match was good, it's like, we're going to get the same thing in their matches on Sunday, at the show.
Yeah, I can see what you're talking about. But I thought this was a really great match. I think they made the right choice of allowing Eddie Kingston to beat Bryan Danielson.
I thought, that was a good decision as well. I mean, Bryan's over, Eddie's over.
And this is more about Eddie Kingston getting a handshake from Bryan Danielson more than anything. So
what you always wanted.
Really glad it played out that way. But I like how at the end, he tries to leave, but Bryan stops him. And then Bryan extends his hand and Eddie doesn't want it. He pushes it away and then they shake hands. So I really like that.
Yeah, he really wanted Eddie to shake his hand.
Yeah.
I gotta say the Continental Crown Championship, they need to make it more like the World Championship on how that is pushed. Same for the International Championship. I think that AEW needs to work on, pushing, those two titles to make them relevant. Just like, the World Championship, just like the World Tag Team Championship. the TNT Championship. They need to just, push more into both of those belts. To me, those championships.
I agree. They need to do more with this title.
I hope
so. Next we get the All-Star. Get your game on. Get played. Well, I like that song.
It's all right.
You don't like All-Star by Smash Mouth?
Yeah, All Stars. That's one of my favorite Smash Mouth songs.
That's my only favorite Smash Mouth song.
I mean, you got, they did "I'm a Believer."
Well, that's not the original version. That's the cover
they remade
version.
it.
Yeah, they covered it. But every time I heard this match, they said All-Star, the song came into my head. I'm like, you're an All-Star.
You can't forget "Walking on the Sun." That's another Smash Mouth song.
Never heard that song. Like. Never heard that song.
Be out of here.
I can. This is my show. All right, so it was an All-Star Scrambled match. This was originally supposed to be a meat match.
We have the meat.
It was Hook versus Wardlow versus Lance Archer versus Powerhouse Hobbs versus Chris Jericho versus Dante Martin versus Brian Cage versus Magnus. This was a fun match. I enjoyed this match. I think my favorite spots in this match were when Wardlow, Archer, Hobbs, and Brian Cage all tried to knock each other down, and the crowd was chanting meat, meat, meat. And then I like it when Mangus, Hook, Dante, and Chris Jericho also tried to knock each other down. I think those were really cool spots.
The match should have been sponsored by Arby's because they have the meat.
It still would have been the meat match, yeah. Another spot that I liked was when Chris Jericho put Wardlow in the Lion Tamer and then Hook had him locked in the sleeper.
Yeah, both great spots there.
And Wardlow was victorious. I'm glad Wardlow won, especially if they're going to give him a push. He deserved to win this match.
I kind of knew that they were going to give Wardlow the win because after the great promo that he cut on Dynamite last week. And I knew that they were going to give him the win.
Yeah, definitely. This is a great match. Like, so far, I feel like up to this point, AEW Revolution was delivering.
I agree. And the thing here for Wardlow is they need to start booking him good here. They need to start giving him a big push after this promo that, he delivered. And just don't feed Wardlow, jobbers. Don't make him like Goldberg. Don't have him go out there, Powerbomb Symphony, and just pin his opponent. We don't want to see that anymore. They need to focus on Wardlow, delivering, good matches and no more squash matches.
I agree. He's way past that point.
I hope Tony Khan, makes the right decision with that.
Same. All right, we get the AEW International title match. Is Orange Cassidy versus Roderick Strong. This match, in my opinion, was all Roderick Strong. Like, Orange Cassidy took a huge beating in this match.
For sure, this match was all Roderick Strong.
Wardlow versus Braun Breaker in a jobber squash fest.
Yeah, they got Braun Breaker on SmackDown spearing Zion Quinn from NXT.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, you're gonna know if you watch the NXT. We'll announce
Wardlow
that.
better watch his allies, especially Adam Cole's attentions. I still think, and this is just my personal belief, I still think that the only reason Wardlow was even added to that group in the first place was because of Adam Cole's injury. Had it not been for Adam Cole's injury, I don't think that they would have added in Wardlow in there.
No.
Because Wardlow's addition to the group kind of like, okay, like, I get that you want to take out MJF, but why do you have to associate yourself with the Kingdom to do that? Undisputed Kingdom. It's like they didn't have to put him in that group, but I think that they only did so because Adam Cole was injured.
I think, to me, the Undisputed Kingdom, I think, is just the weakest group that AEW has.
They've cooled down, but it's because of MJF. Like, he's not there. The whole point was they're going to take down MJF, and they've cooled down a lot since.
And it's not that interesting.
Yeah.
with anything that they're doing with them.
No lie, I feel like they've been trying to recreate the Undisputed Era from Black and Gold NXT, my NXT, and
And
they
nothing will
haven't been able
compare.
to, to recreate that. Speaking of the Undisputed Era, at the end of this match, which Roderick Strong won, no surprise there,
No surprise.
we had a returning Kyle O'Reilly sporting a new look.
O'Reilly.
Auto Square?
Auto parts.
Oh, Auto Parts. So
I'm surprised you haven't heard of that.
I have heard of that. I just forgot it said Auto Parts.
Oh,
So I was really surprised by the fact. I mean, if you look at him here, it looks like he was getting ready to attack Roderick Strong. And like he just looks super emotional. You get me? Like, let me see. Kyle with the caveman look. Yeah. So like he whispers something into Roderick Strong's ear. You know, Mike Bennett gives him his shirt, but he only hugs Roderick Strong. He doesn't really seem to acknowledge the kingdom here, which I think is interesting.
mm.
You know?
I like that Kyle O'Reilly came back and sported that new look.
If only if they can find some way to bring back Bobby Fish, I feel like it adds more layers to the story. But without Bobby Fish, I don't think you can ever fully truly complete the Undisputed Era.
I think that's why O'Reilly turned down being in the Undisputed Kingdom.
We'll find out more as the weeks progress, but like we said earlier, they'll never be able to recreate the Undisputed Era in AEW or anywhere for that matter.
No, there's no way they could compare, the Undisputed Era from Black and Gold NXT, but
They ran.
which is my NXT as well.
Yeah, my NXT. They ran NXT.
Of course, they had a great run down there.
Yeah. So next we get a tag match. It's Jon Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli versus FTR. This was another match that was like, holy shit. Like, oh my God. I mean, Dax got busted open during this, and I believe so did Claudio Castagnoli. I was like, oh my God. Like, the back and forth in this match was insane.
Yeah, they all worked really well here, and was surprised to see Dax busted open because I'm like, we're waiting for Moxley to bleed because we all know how many minutes until Moxley bleeds, in a match that he always has. Surprisingly, he did not bleed in this match.
Give these two tag teams the best of series tag team war match. Oh, definitely. They should give them a best of 7 series like they did the Lucha, like they did the Elite and Death Triangle.
Mm-hmm.
They should give them that. I would not mind that. I would not complain at all.
I think that would be a good, best of 7.
Oh, it definitely would be a great best of 7 match. Like Jon Moxley, here he bit Cash. He bit Cash. And I was like, oh my God, he bit Cash.
I'm surprised Cash didn't bite him and busted him open.
Right? You would have thought that would have been the case, but no, that did not happen. He bit he also bit Dax too.
Mm.
So, damn. Blackpool Combat Club was victorious. I feel like this feud is not over yet,
We're going to get another match out of them.
I think so too. Definitely.
Just fight forever.
I wouldn't mind. So we ended up getting the AEW Women's World Title match. Timeless Toni Storm versus Deonna Purrazzo. This is a match I personally was looking forward to because I am a big fan of Deonna Purrazzo, and I was rooting for Deonna Purrazzo. Long may she fucking reign, as Lucha would say. I don't know if he watched, but I was rooting for Deonna Purrazzo, and I don't know what was it about this match. Okay, well, before we get into the match itself, I really like the fact that Mariah May came out as old Toni Storm. with the music and everything.
I thought that was a nice touch there. That's the Tony Storm that we all remember. She had that same look when she was in WWE, when she debuted in AEW. So I thought that was a nice touch by Mariah May there.
The real White's in 1,000 subscribers. Hell yeah. Yeah, I'll talk more about that later.
And I'm happy about that.
Of course you are. I'm not. Of course you are.
And JJ, if he's watching, I'm sure he's happy too.
Oh, JJ's the one that told me that I had hit 1,000 subscribers. I didn't even realize I hit it. I wasn't home when it happened. Keep going, girl. Thank you. So I was kind of disappointed with this match. I just felt like it wasn't not a Deonna Purrazzo match. And I've seen a lot of Deonna Purrazzo matches. She does not disappoint. In this match, I don't know what it was. I was expecting more.
I agree with you. I was expecting more also, considering, they hyped this up, and the promos that they done from, their backstory, because they're, former friends, going at it. I think they lived with each other. They were roommates, and, they put all of this into, one, some promos, and, I was looking forward to it. And then all we got was like you could say it was an okay match, but was just expecting more out of them.
Yeah, this was kind of an okay match. I wanted to see more, This was not the match that I thought we were going to get. You get me?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you've seen Deonna Purrazzo matches in the short time that she's been in AEW.
I think she's really good in the ring.
She is, and I just feel like this match really didn't showcase what she could do.
I really do hope maybe we get a rematch at some point between them. I guess since that may be coming.
We should, especially with the way this match ended. Mariah tried to cause a distraction. Deonna kicked her. Luther basically distracted the ref because Deonna Purrazzo had Toni Storm with the armbar, but the ref didn't see her tap out. So I could see typical timeless Toni stuff in this match. Yeah, I could see getting a rematch, but I worry about what's going to happen with Deonna. Like, she debuted it and immediately got put into a feud with Toni Storm. Now that she lost, even if she does get a rematch, what are they going to do with her now?
I hope they give her a win, at this point, if there is a rematch, because we don't want to see two losses, to Toni Storm for Deonna Purrazzo.
I don't. And I feel like they sacrificed Deonna because with Mercedes Moné coming in, I feel like Mercedes is going to be the one to take the title off of Toni Storm.
Yeah, I see that. I sense that happening.
I sense it too. I mean, Thunder Rosa hasn't even gotten her obligated rematch for her title.
Yeah, exactly. When is that coming? Can you explain that to me? Can you explain that to us, Tony Khan?
When she came back, that should have been the feud that she had, a rematch with Toni Storm, because that she never lost that title. She vacated the title.
And where is she now? She was on Collision last night.
Probably Deonna versus Mariah. I could see that.
And Deonna will win that match, no doubt.
She better win that match.
May she fucking reign.
Yeah. Take a seat, ladies. Mercedes is coming for the belt. Oh, yeah, she definitely is. There's no way.
Why do you think TK is going to pay her all that money to come to AEW for? That's where the money's going to go.
So she can have a 10-minute match?
Not a 10-minute match, though, but, she's come. They want to make her happy. They want to give her, the belt. She wants to make memories that she couldn't do in WWE.
Her first, if she automatically is inserted into a feud with Toni Storm, she's beating Toni Storm.
Exactly.
So next we get, personally, my favorite match of the night. Will Ospreay versus Konosuke Takeshita.
This was the best match of the night, in my opinion. Without a doubt. This was fantastic.
Jamie Hayter deserves a shot when she returns too. I agree, but I haven't heard anything about her returning anytime soon. I was just talking about how Thunder Rosa should have had a match with Toni Storm.
We miss Jamie Hayter.
Yeah, we do. Holy cow! What am I right? This was my favorite match of the night. This topped.
I have to say that this match was a Shawn Spears 10 out of 10.
I agree. This match itself was a Shawn Spears perfect 10. You know, like Thunder Rosa should get her rematch. She should, but she hasn't gotten it. Like, I was like, holy shit. I was like, oh my god, this match had me at the edge of my seat.
I could have watched these two go at it all night and never be bored of it.
Honestly, if it wasn't for Sting's final match, I feel like this probably would have been the best match the whole pay-per-view.
No, without a doubt. I agree with that. And they said that this was Ospreay's, in-ring debut for AEW, but he's been in an AEW ring before when he was with Aussie Open.
I think they mean his in-ring debut as an official AEW wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
But this was a great match. I mean, I think the most shocking part for me was when Takeshita kicked out at 1 for my hidden blade.
And it brought the crowd to their feet.
I really like the fact that Will Ospreay did the Styles Clash.
AJ Styles is proud somewhere.
Mm-hmm. You know why he did that, right? Because he is a TNA guy. He grew up watching TNA.
Figures.
Yeah. Iosis Konosuke Takeshita is so good. Is that good? Yes, he is. Showing love from Toronto. Kind of. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I think this is the best we got of Takeshita after joining the Don Callis family.
Yeah, definitely. Takeshita is a star. Like, he is a fucking star, and he will be champion.
I like to see a belt on Takeshita. He really deserves it.
Same. So at the end, Kyle Fletcher, Ozzy. Oi. All we're missing is Mark Davis.
Mark Davis.
I remember when I went to Hearts to Kill back in January. You know how Will Ospreay's the United Empire alongside Aussie Open, the crowd was chanting Ozzy, and he's like, I'm English. Yeah, so that was funny. So there's a sign of respect between him and Konosuke Takeshita, and then Kyle Fletcher and Ospreay hug, and we find out Will Ospreay will face Kyle Fletcher on Dynamite.
Now that will be interesting on Wednesday night.
Same. But you know something? Let me ask you, do you think Don Callis lived up to his promise? He said this was not going to be the best match of the night. This is not going to be the best match of the year. This is going to be match of the decade.
I think it would be the best match of the night. I mean, this could rival over Sting's final match, because that's where the show is centered around Sting having his final match, his retirement match. So, even though this was a fantastic match, it wouldn't outlive or overshadow Sting's final match.
I agree, but this is a great match.
Shawn
All
Spears,
right.
10 out of 10.
Yeah, Shawn Spears perfect 10. But before we get into the next match, we find out AEW is created a new pay-per-view. Sunday, April 21st, we get the debut of AEW Dynasty live from St. Louis, Missouri, the hometown of Randy Orton.
I'm looking forward to it.
Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to watch.
Maybe not me to. Hopefully, I get a chance to watch it because I work late on Sundays from time to time.
Because I'm going to be... See, that's the same weekend TNA Impact is doing their April show, Rebellion, the day before. So I'm going to be at Rebellion, and then I'm going to be at the tapings the next day. So the tapings are going to be at the same time as AEW Dynasty.
I'll have a fun time at that.
Thank you. So we get the three-way for the AEW World Title match. It is Samoa Joe versus Hangman Adam Page versus Swerve Strickland. One of the things I really liked about this was how much Swerve Strickland and Hangman Adam Page went at each other, and it seemed like they were kind of ignoring Samoa Joe at the beginning, but I really, really like how both of them work together to double team Samoa Joe. The double power bomb. That was a really cool spot.
That was a pretty cool spot there. And Joe and Swerve and Hangman, they did pretty good in the match here. A lot of people were booing Page because they wanted pretty much Swerve to win the match. So I think the crowd was all Swerve fans.
I was just obsessed, Hangman. Yeah, obsessed for sure. Like, he beat up a referee.
Maybe he's getting fined. Who knows?
Or suspended.
Yeah, the Young Bucks will be handing out fines to him.
Like, another part that I like was that Prince Nana handed the crown to Swerve Strickland, but he gave it back.
Gotta do the Prince Nana dance.
And then Hangman Adam Page hitting Swerve Strickland with the title. Oh my god, like, this match was awesome too.
And then you had Samoa Joe win the match, still retain the title.
So I like the way they did it, and I'm really glad they went this route. So like Joe put Hangman in a sleeper, and he tapped while Swerve Strickland looked so like he could not believe that just happened because his chance slipped through his hands. But I feel like it's not over, not yet. I could definitely then see doing Samoa Joe versus Swerve Strickland, maybe if not a Dynasty, a Double or Nothing. He will be champion, and I think that's why they made this a three-way, because then you protect Swerve Strickland from getting pinned, but you also have Joe retain, and Hangman could take the loss here.
Yeah, I think that there's going to be another rematch here. I think it's probably going to come maybe at Dynasty. I wouldn't mind seeing it if it happens at Double or Nothing. If it happens at Double or Nothing, give it a nice long build and, let it play out.
Good question, Io. When Hangman tapped, did he tap because he was getting choked out, or did he tap to make sure Swerve Strickland didn't win? Good question.
I think he tapped to make sure Swerve didn't win. I think
so too.
Protecting Swerve.
I think he didn't tap. I think he tapped out because he didn't want Swerve Strickland to win. I could totally see that being the excuse as to why he tapped out. So, but overall, what would you rank this show from a scale of 1 to 10? From a 1 to a Shawn Spears perfect 10.
Well, the show was good. It wasn't perfect by any means. But if I were to rate the show, I would give it a 9 out of 10. I think the Toni Storm and Deonna Purrazzo match boiled it down for me. If it was a good match, if that match was good, this would easily be a Shawn Spears perfect 10 show.
I have to agree with you. Like I mentioned earlier, I was a little disappointed by that match. Like, I wanted more from that match, And had that match been a lot better, it would have been a Shawn Spears perfect 10. But because I felt like that match wasn't all it was meant to be, it's a 9 out of 10 for me as well. All right, Michael, as we get ready to wrap up, do you have any, where can people find you?
Well, you guys can find me at my channel here, Michael101591. Subscribe to my channel. I do, wrestling reviews, WWE, Raw, SmackDown reviews every week, AEW Dynamite reviews. I do movie reviews, DVD, Blu-ray, 4K updates. Also upload old school, commercials. So come over to my channel, check it out, subscribe, and enjoy what you see.
Io says 9 out of 10. That woman says should have been better. Take notes on the knockouts. Exactly. That Deonna, if you've seen Deonna's matches, you know she could have delivered in a 5-star match. That was not, I don't know what happened, but, you know, I don't blame them. I don't blame them at all. It's not their fault. It's not Deonna's fault. It's not Tony Storm's fault. It's probably the way the match
comes down to creative.
Yeah, it comes down to creative. It always comes down to creative. It's never the wrestler's fault. It's not their fault.
I gotta say, I gotta mention this because it's hilarious. You know, she called me Michael Cole in one of the Dynamite videos, so I'm like, I had to do, you know, vintage Tony Storm, just for Datila, just almost calling me Michael Cole.
Oh my God! One time, let it go.
No, it was just hilarious. It just made me laugh.
We can add that to the list of misnamed names that I've named.
Yeah.
All right. As for myself, like Real White mentioned earlier, I finally hit 1,000 subscribers. So thank you guys so much for the support. Thank you guys all for tuning in and for the continued support. I'm so happy.
Know what's coming.
And I am a woman of my word. So going forward, starting with NXT Roadblock, I will be reviewing only the NXT PL East and live specials. I'm not going to do the weekly show. Let's see. NXT. Yeah.
Get her to 2,000 subscribers that she'll watch NXT every single week.
Hell no.
I'm only kidding.
I would have a full week, okay? Just because I don't cover TNA Impact on my channel anymore doesn't mean that I don't watch it. I cover it for Body Slam. I would never have a free day.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, thank you guys all so much for watching and for the continued support. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell so you get notified whenever I go live or release a new video. And I'll see you guys Monday after Raw. Bye.
See you guys.